Welcome back. My name is Bob Lewis and thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk about the Winchester 1400 semi-automatic shotgun. We have a 1400 today. Customer brought this in, bought it at a pawn shop some time back. Didn't shoot it a lot, but when he did, it wouldn't cycle properly, and so he brought it into my shop to take a look at it and find out what was going on. So we found out that really the problem was it was incredibly dirty. So over the years, not everybody cleans their gun every time they use it. So as a result of the buildup of dust and moisture and all of that, dirt and all that gets in an action, it can have, it can cause the gun to fail. And so that was the case here. And so really, we put it in the ultrasonic tank. We do offer a clean and inspection for $75, as I mentioned before. And it thoroughly cleans the gun. It's a deep, deep clean that gets in areas that you can't possibly get to without that type of system. And then, of course, we put a lubrication over all of the metal parts and then wipe down the wood. And so we took it out after we got finished, put it all back together, took it out and used it at the range. And it works perfectly. I mean, it's ejecting correctly, it's feeding correctly, it's extracting correctly. Everything is working good, so we're in good shape there. The 1400 has some drawbacks. It is an easy gun to disassemble and put back together. Anything's easy if you know what you're doing, of course, but it's easy in that light. It also has a single retainer pin like many Mossbergs. You just simply punch out the pin here and the trigger assembly comes out. This trigger assembly is a modular type assembly that holds your carrier and your cartridge stops all in the same place. And there's some drawbacks to that because the cartridge stops, the primary and secondary, are riveted to the support bars that actually retain the carrier or support the carrier for its action inside the receiver. And so as a result of that, you have to replace the whole side. That means the primary cartridge stop or secondary and the side plate that goes to the trigger assembly. So that is a kind of a total replacement that you have to perform if you have a problem, if one breaks. They are easy to adjust to get more engagement or less engagement depending on what the case may be. So the gun does cycle and function correctly. We fired 3 rounds through it, 2 3/4, 7.5 shot. They work fine. Some variations on this was the Ted Williams model. As I understand it, it was developed, sold by Sears, and the difference was it wasn't a Chevron style receiver and buttstock. It was straight across, and the fit and finish was a lot better, as I understand it, in relationship to how this goes on. Winchester decided to have thicker wood in the back end of this particular area, which does give it more strength, if you will, but the fit and finish is not quite as good. The other thing to remember is if you do have a shotgun, of course, if it's polymer or synthetic, it doesn't make any difference. You want to make sure that the buttstock is tight. You don't want it to get loose because it can cause some problems down the road. In this particular case, at some time or other, this gun did get loose, and as a result of that, it did crack up here at the top. There's a minor crack at the top, and also through the pistol grip from the center of the trigger guard back through the pistol grip itself back in here. Now they are rather tight cracks and they're not moving around a lot, but eventually those issues will have to be addressed. The recoil pad on the back is starting to get to the point where it's still pliable, but as these get older, on an older shotgun, they get hard and they get brittle and they don't feel as good as they did originally. So that will probably have to be addressed as well, probably when the stock is taken care of. The other thing is that this is a low gas pressure gun. So what I mean is there's low pressure gas that cycles the bolt and sends the next shell into the chamber, and so you're ready to shoot again. So it's low pressure, but lots of volume of gas. And as a result of that, Winchester put a port or a release port on the magazine cap that holds your barrel and your forearm assembly onto the gun. Is a valve in the front up here, unlike a lot of other shotguns, at least not that I'm familiar with. But and so it allows the excess gas that's not needed by the system to exit from the front of the cap. Interesting design. You also want to make sure that the forearm is snug. There's spacers inside here. When I took the gun apart, 2 of these spacers were pretty well banged up. In fact, I had to beat them back out on an anvil just to get them straightened out, get them lined back up, and we were able to use them again. But keep in mind, if they're not put in the forearm correctly, then they will get damaged as a result of shooting the gun. The gun does lock back correctly now. The release for the bolt is in the bottom of the magazine follower. We release it that way, and it does send another shell into the chamber. And of course, the primary and secondary cartridge stops on the bottom are operating. That allows a shell to come onto the carrier, to be lifted and put into the chamber, and also retains the other cartridges in the magazine tube until it cycles the shell into the chamber, and the primary cartridge stop is re-engaged, and it now holds the next shell in line. Of course, the gun cycles again. The primary cartridge stop is deactivated, allowing the shell to come out of the magazine tube onto the carrier. The next cartridge in line is being held by the secondary stop. And the secondary stop, through a camming action inside on the action bar, is what controls the timing of how those 2 cartridge stops relate to one another. And so, as you know, if you've had one that just dumped shells early or dumped them out of the bottom while one was cycling, can create a problem if they're not tuned and done correctly. This particular gun seems to function just fine now that we've cleaned it up. Anyway, that's the 1400, made in a lot of different countries. Not the best shotgun in the world by any stretch of the imagination. 1964 was probably a good introduction, but it does have some design flaws. And, well, you know the rest of the story. Anyway, thanks for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. You can like us on Facebook. You can look at our channel on YouTube. You can reach us at 256-502-4585 or email guns@lewisprecisiongunsmithing.com. And of course, leave us your comments or your experiences with the particular shotguns that you've owned and found out you either liked them or you didn't. Until next time, thanks for watching.